In an ever-changing and constantly evolving world where technology grows at a rapid pace, it's important to be aware about all the new things that's happening around us. After all, even a single click or press of a button can hold so much power now. And thus, it is our responsibility to know how to properly wield this power. This is technology, and we are here to help inform and educate you about the latest developments in the trends in information technology as well as their possible impacts to our society. Today, we are going to learn about NFTs. These are the following topics concerning NFTs that we are going to talk about today. That's right, if you're wondering why these currently trending images of apes are circulating in different social media platforms nowadays, or even how the Nyan Cat GIF and the very first tweet by the Twitter founder Jack Dorsey got sold, then you came at the right video. So what are NFTs? First, let's define what an NFT means. NFT stands for non-fungible token. Non-fungible more or less means that it's unique and can't be replaced with something else. An NFT is essentially a certificate of ownership for a digital asset. The value comes from the collectability of that asset as well as its potential future sale value. NFTs can be sold and traded. Now, how do NFTs work? How do you provide a certificate of ownership for digital assets? First, let's define what digital assets are. Digital assets are anything that exists in a digital format and has a right to use, a right to copy, duplicate, reproduce, modify, and otherwise use. So, for example, things such as documents, audiovisual content, images, and other similar digital data are all considered digital assets. And now, let's define what a blockchain is. A blockchain is a system of recording information in a way that makes it difficult or even impossible to change, hack, or cheat the system. A blockchain is essentially a digital ledger of transactions that is duplicated and distributed across the entire network of computer systems on the blockchain. With all of these in mind, NFTs exist on a blockchain, which is a distributed public ledger that records transactions. Blockchains are also known as the underlying process that makes cryptocurrencies possible. An NFT is created, or as they call it, minted, from digital assets that represent both tangible and intangible items. Now, if it's still confusing, just think of NFTs as like physical collector's items, only digital. So instead of getting an actual oil painting to hang on the wall, the buyer gets a digital proof of ownership instead. They get exclusive ownership rights as NFTs can have only one owner at a time. NFTs' unique data makes it easy to verify their ownership and transfer tokens between owners. The owner or creator can also store specific information inside them. For instance, artists can sign their artwork by including their signature in an NFT's metadata. This is only possible because of the security of blockchains. Hey, wait a minute. If NFTs are basically just proofs or certificates that you own a digital asset, then does that mean that you own a certain meme or image on the internet now? Well, here's the problem. Well, digital assets can be copied. Just because someone owns the NFT of a digital asset doesn't mean that copies of it don't exist. Art can be copied and pasted, GIFs reposted thousands of times, and videos posted on various websites. Just because you own the NFT doesn't mean you control the asset. You simply have a token or certificate of authenticity. The difference between an NFT and owning an actual physical item is that an NFT is like having a certificate saying that you own the Mona Lisa, but you don't actually get to have the real Mona Lisa painting with your own hands. There's only one original and real Mona Lisa painting in the world, but thousands of copies of the image of an NFT may exist elsewhere on the internet. You're buying, selling, or trading for a token and associated value with it, and not the actual item. Now, you might be asking, so what? How are NFTs relevant anyway? And why should we care? Aside from the fact that NFTs are currently trending and gaining even more traction every day, from November 15, 2021 to December 15, 2021, or just over 30 days, NFT sales reached approximately 30.8 thousand. In fact, NFT sales have been steadily increasing over the past year, doubling in value since September 2020. And here's an even bigger problem.
Now we are going to tackle about the impacts of NFTs on our environment. The soaring popularity of non-fungible tokens or NFTs has drawn multi-million-dollar trades and celebrity attention. But in addition to generating buzzy headlines, it's also creating an unintentional byproduct that's keeping environmentalists up at night. And that is the massive energy consumption adding to the overall carbon footprint created by cryptocurrencies. Bitcoin, Ethereum, and many other cryptocurrencies are secured by a mechanism called proof of work, which is an energy-intensive mining process. NFTs are Ethereum-based tokens that are part of the Ethereum blockchain. Platforms that sell NFTs typically need buyers to use Ethereum to make their purchases. Mining currencies like this is a huge contributor to the greenhouse gas emissions and climate change because the mining process requires immeasurable computing power and a lot of energy for the blockchain and the algorithm to exist. To expound on this, to incentivize miners spending energy and money, they are sometimes rewarded with newly created cryptocurrency units and transaction fees for their computations. The higher the price of the cryptocurrency, the higher the incentive to participate in the computations, which in turn become more complicated and require more energy. In layman's term, every single aspect of an NFT essentially produces carbon emissions, from minting the token, mining the coins to buy it, and to resales. Every subsequent transaction after the crypto art has been uploaded follows the same series of events, which consumes the same amounts of carbon dioxide. Every bid creates 23 kilograms, every sale weighs 51 kilograms, and every transfer consumes 30 kilograms. Annually, Ethereum is currently estimated to consume roughly 44.94 terawatt-hours of electrical energy, which is comparable to the yearly power consumption of countries like Qatar and Hungary. Crypto miners have been blamed for power outages in Iran, and a recent study found that the energy consumption of the Bitcoin blockchain in China alone exceeds the total yearly greenhouse gas emission output of the Czech Republic and Qatar. In a recent study, scientists warned Bitcoin alone could push the Earth's temperature 2 degrees Celsius above historical levels if it were to become as widely adopted as other new technologies. In addition to this, NFTs also create a problem for artists. NFTs are not a boon for struggling artists because on the contrary, they are actually a plague facilitating art theft. Numerous creators are having their content plagiarized, minted as an NFT, and even sold to buyers who believe they are acquiring the real deal. Unfortunately, there is no way to track down scammers to collect damages on behalf of the victims. In conclusion, NFTs are bad for the environment because fossil fuels are burned to generate electricity that's wasted on difficult blockchain calculations, which contribute massively to climate change while generating exactly zero tangible economic value. The blockchain does not become more energy efficient as it grows in popularity. On the contrary, as the puzzle becomes more competitive and difficult, the blockchain grows and more people engage in the mining activity. It also hurts artists because people can easily steal their art and make profit from them. In a way, NFTs are basically capitalism gone wild.
Now, to summarize everything, NFTs, or non-fungible tokens, are certificates of ownership of digital assets that have currently taken a lot of interest from the general public due to granting the capability of having the exclusive rights even if you don't actually own the item to any digital goods. However, despite the current trend of NFTs already taking social media platforms by storm, the creation of an NFT as well as its existence poses a lot of harm to the environment, huge carbon footprint, and threatens a lot of creative artists, art theft. Now, before we end the video, we'd just like to remind you, the audience, that the importance of knowing about the latest hot trends in technology, like the NFTs, is to be aware of the possible effects that these newfound technologies have. Now that you are aware of the dangers of NFTs and the lack of any tangible benefits from supporting them, it's up to you to decide what you can do. Will you be supporting them? Or perhaps, try to inform others to hopefully discourage them from trying out NFTs. The power is all yours. And that's it for the video. Thank you for watching this episode of Technology.